And I'm very happy to be with the students, fellow colleagues, panelists. I would be talking on what our esteemed moderator has said. But before that, I would ask a simple question. Because he talked about the pen being sold for 1,000 rupees. And when people are purchasing a pen or purchasing anything or making any life decision or any choice decision, that decision is based on need basis. Is it required for me or not? Now, my needs may differ. My needs may be very basic. I just want to write with the pen. I want to showcase that pen that this is of X brand and hence I have purchased for 1,000 rupees. My need is for self-esteem, a higher order need. My need is for recognition. Yes, the same pen, but purchased and priced with different aspects. Same is the case with education. This new education policy is in a way strengthening the education system of India because it is focusing on need-based education. If we talk about the modern education system in India, starting from the British era, Lord Macaulay brought the education system. He reformed the Indian traditional education system. And because Britishers wanted clerks in India, they wanted us to work for them, they treated and they trained us in a particular manner. And we all got trained in the working mentality that we have to work. We have to work. We have to work. Not that we have to employ. Not we have to employ. But now, I'm not just talking about Lord Macaulay or the Britishers, I'm also talking about the psychological and demographic aspects of India also. Now in this auditorium only, although we are speaking in English, but there are many people who cannot understand English. So it's worthless to talk because they are disinterested. They will be doing something fan swinging with, or they are doing some jugaad to get rid of this. Ki lunch kab aayega or maybe tea kab serve hogi. So this is also the problem with the education system. Now coming back to the basic system of the education, that over the period we have seen good economic development for the last 30 years, maybe not 30, then post 2000, we have seen good per capita increase in the Indian GDP. And because of which the generation became enabled to explore not traditional but some extraordinary interest-based education, which our fathers did not have. They did not have the luxury to explore anything of their interest. It's not because they were not creative enough, they were not intelligent enough, but because there is a baggage of livelihood. I have to earn for my family. Let me quote an incident, so one of our relative, he just told his father, maybe he's 10, 20 years older than me, and he said, I want to write poems. This is my interest. Because his father asked, what do you want to do? He said, I want to write poem. And this is when I was, maybe in early, 20s. So he said, okay, that is enough that, you want to write poems, but what you will do for your livelihood? So if the approach, if the mindset of the society is just focused on the livelihood, it's just a fad to think about creativity, innovation. Because your larger ecosystem is not there to support. Because the majority of the stakeholders are pushing you towards the traditional pathway. And we all know, we can agree that creativity is something which cannot be taught in classroom. It is free exploration of ideas. And many people say that between intelligent and idiot there is a very thin line. So all intelligent people are considered idiot in their initial years. And then people, after they have done something which is extraordinary, they say, he is very intelligent. I knew from, very beginning that he is going to do something very crazy. But nobody is supporting in the initial. And for that, this NEP is, trying to bring some framework where you have PPP concept, public-private partnership, because individual cannot build the culture of a sustainable, creative, innovation system. Because as an individual, what we can do? We can bring Jugaad, which our panelist also, moderator also mentioned. Now, Jugaad, the good thing is that it can solve the problem, immediate problem, but it cannot sustain, and it cannot sustain on a larger scale. And here, the role of institution, schools, private institution, business houses can come very handy. That they can support these creators, but at least you should have some forum to register that these are, 10, 20 creative minds of at least Hyderabad city. If you are not recognizing them, so the point number one is the initiation stage of creativity. You have to identify who are the creative minds. Is there a forum to address? What is the problem? Problem is that we want the end result. It's not because, we want, there is a fundamental flaw, and I always say that this is the, carrying of the baggage which we are having, because we were, under the British rule, so we had a very fixed mental set. We were not, allowed to explore creativity or raise something, which is against the system, or so we were very traditional, thinking in a particular direction. But now, because we are, one of the fastest growing economy, we have something, at least our, our generation, my generation, does not have a baggage, that I have to support because my father was working somewhere, he has some bank balance, he has a house. But my father's problem was something different, that he did not have a house, in the, early times, so he had to build a house. So he could not explore his creativity. Now the point is, which I just want to explore to the students, and not, not everybody, at least people who are sitting here are privileged students. They have good access to at least education system, because the new education policy also talks about, the first line, the philosophy of new education policy is inclusion. Inclusion. Every individual in this class, in this auditorium, should be included in my discussion, interaction. Equitable. I am giving focus to each and every row, every column, every individual equally. That is about resource deployment. And lifelong learning. The point which our moderator was talking about, that academic credits or academic bank of credits. That's a very fantastic thing to have. That I can pursue something, need based, my interest based. But there are some challenges which we will elaborate. But at the same time, now what is the good point is that this education policy is talking about something which is not traditional, which is something very much relevant for this particular generation.